great night for college football, man. What a game. We missed it. Thought our students showed out in big support, and very, very appreciative of them. You know, that we've spent a lot of time out on campus this week, and they showed up, and we appreciate them, and hopefully they'll continue to do so. We've got a football team that's playing hard. We're going to get better. There was some good. You know, I'll talk about the good part of it. Defensively, did a good job getting off 3 and outs most of the second half. We've got a lot of people experience. Melvin Tyus played a lot of snaps in the secondary, which was good, and we needed it. We rotated 5 corners through there. Juwan McDowell, Blace Brown both played a lot of snaps. We were able to get Doug Salter and Tron Folsom. Defensively, we played every D lineman we had, so that was good. The negative defensively is in the first half. Now, we just did not do a very good job with our eye discipline. And I think some of that is we've got older guys, 4 senior linebackers, 2 seniors at defensive end. I thought they just played tight, really, and you know, and tried to force some things. And as we get into the season, they'll relax. I know they will. Doc Dillard and Junior, those guys are going to relax. Then the ugly part of it were the penalties. You know, that's on both sides. I got to go back and look at it before I can really talk about it. You know, for sure, one late hit on the sideline that we don't condone. And then a couple of those, I'll get some inserts from the official crew. They did a nice job. They did a really good job. SEC crew was here tonight, and I thought they did a really nice job officiating the game. Offensively, the Brandon Silvers, first of all, talking about the positive, Brandon Silvers really managed the game well. He did not make a bad decision until late in the second quarter, and that's a big change from last year. I'll just leave it at that. He thought he managed the game well. I thought our tempo was really good when we pressed the gas. Thought he threw the ball downfield probably better than he has at any point in his career. Our running attack, I thought we did a good job getting movement up front, better than we did at any point last year. Jordan Chun's ready to have a big year. Obviously, you saw Jabir Fry and some of these young guys that we've been talking about. And then played a lot of guys. And I think we had 17 or 2 deep, and we probably played closer to 20 for their first game action. So that was very positive. And then the negatives right there is penalties. You know, I was disappointed we didn't get that 4th down. I was trying to run some clock. That was probably the one negative offensively. Our ball security's got to get better. You know, we fumbled the punt. Special teams, we were sharp, didn't have to do a whole lot. That initial swinging gate, they made a nice play. Brandon didn't make a very good throw, but they made a nice play. But I thought our special teams were sound. I thought we did a really nice job on our kickoff. So with that being said, it's a win. It's a win. I'll say this too. Will Healy's doing a good job at Austin Peay. You know, it showed at times tonight that they're much improved. So he's going to get that program going. A lot of positive energy right there. They have nothing to be ashamed of. Thought they competed. They're doing some really sound things schematically on offense and defense. So my hat's off to them. And with that, we'll open up with questions.
How much of the defensive struggles in the first half for us? Because
You're going to go negative right away, Jeremy? Come on, man. Nah.
You didn't know what they were doing, and then, JUCO transfer quarterback coming in there.
Well, I'll say this. Austin Peay did some nice things schematically. They really did. I thought they did some good things in the Reed game. They did a good job getting some numbers to the boundary where they outnumbered us. So I thought Will and his staff did a good job. And we'd had some issues in some games last year with some similar plays, and they did a nice job exploiting us. But most of it was just us. I mean, they didn't do really anything schematically wise that we didn't prepare for. Our eye discipline wasn't very good. And they made some plays too. The receiver they got, number 1, is a good player. I mean, he's a legitimately good player. And I thought the junior college transfer did a good job as well, making some plays with his feet. Yeah, we drew it up to give Chun the ball. You know, we felt like he was our best player throughout fall camp offensively, and we wanted to get him the ball. So that was good. That was good to see, without question. I think it gave him a lot of confidence, and I don't know what he ended up with, 161 yards on 13 attempts. So I think it was a big confidence boost. That was the first time outside of a scrimmage setting where he'd really been hit, since on that field in Game 2 last year against Charleston Southern. Well, I knew this going back in the winter when you kind of assess what we did last year, the good and the bad of it. I knew we had to get more explosive plays, and so we spent a lot of time schematically preparing in the winter and in the summer. We practiced them a lot in spring ball. We practiced them a lot against our defense throughout fall camp. So we emphasized those, and it was good to see. We put a real emphasis on throwing the football downfield over the course of the last 10, 11 months, and it was very nice to see a payoff in a game setting.
Back to Chun, did you expect this kind of performance from him first game back?
I did. I really did. I think he's a guy that's changed his body. He had football taken away from him, and anytime – I don't think sometimes that's a positive long term. He had it taken away from him. He found how much he loved it. And when he came back, okay, because you got to remember, he only practiced twice in the spring. He only went through 2 spring practices, shoulder, then he had an ankle. So he went from September, whatever the second week of September was last year, really not playing any competitive football till August camp. So he got taken away from him, and he's came back with a work ethic that's a complete 180. And he earned the carries he got tonight. He earned the success he had, and I think you'll see him build on that.
With how the backups played, do you want to go ahead and rule out a quarterback controversy?
Yeah, well, they did a good job. They did a nice job. We going into the game, we were going to give Sawyer the first series of the second quarter, and now my gut got tested a little bit there because I think we were down when he went in the game. Weren't we? It was 14-13, and I told him, I said, no, we're putting him in. I said, and it actually worked out well because, it's kind of easy to play when the game's not in doubt, but the game was in doubt right there, and he came. We had a series of plays for him that he had practiced for about 10 days, and that was the best ball he's thrown on that. It was supposed to be a post. It kind of ended up being a go to Hiram Velez on the touchdown. That was the best he's looked at it over the course of 10 days. So I was proud to see him. We talk about preparing. He was prepared, but he also performed, which is important.
Is that performance for the offensive line indicative of what you can see throughout the season?
Well, it's going to be a little different next week, Jeremy. little different breed of cat. I don't. What's the score over there? Anybody seen it yet? Huh? Yeah, I don't know. I really, Jeremy, I don't know. Here's what we did. We treated this game. We knew Austin Peay was going to be well coached. They were well coached. Had a pretty good feeling what they were going to be defensively because with the Chattanooga background, and they had played really good defense, sound football at Chattanooga. So we had a good feeling for what we were going to see. So I thought we had a nice plan coming into the game. But our offensive line outweighed their defensive line a good bit, and we overwhelmed them at times. And that's not going to be the case next week. So I'm not sure we're going to know where we're at. I'm proud of them. Let me tell you, I'm proud of them because we played some teams that we were better than last year, and we didn't have the same type of success running the ball. So I'm proud of them. I'm not sure we're going to know where we're at until after week 3.
Coach, to talk all spring, summer, fall, long and then about the defense. Just talk about the way the offense performed out there today.
Yeah, well, I think how we perform defensively in the second half is a better indication of how we'll play the rest of the year. We were just tight, and I'm not making excuses. I just thought our kids played really tight, like they were scared to make a mistake, and that's not what we want to do. We talk about failing up in our program and, making a mistake and moving on, and they'll play more loose, Now, obviously, we're going to play the top Heisman Trophy candidate next week, so I don't know statistically if we're going to show, but we're going to play better defense as we move through the year. But offensively, I knew we had a chance to be better than what people thought. We're just going to be young, so there's going to be some times that we do some head scratching things, and for me as a coach, I got to just understand that going in. That there were at times we're going to look really, really good. Like Jabir Fry, he looked really good on a couple plays. He let a ball hit him in a helmet one time. He took the ball out 7 yards deep on a kickoff one time, which is something we absolutely don't talk about. So there's going to be some good and there's going to be some bad, and we just got to live through it.
Couple more. Did Garcia respond well to the first quarter suspension?
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at it. It's we suspended him for the first quarter, violation of team rules, and he understood it. And hopefully it's a situation where he'll learn from it. Thought he played hard when he came in there. The personal foul, I thought it could have gone both ways. But like I said, we had a really good officiating crew, so I'm not going to argue with anything they did.
Young receiving corps, how do you think they stepped up in a lot of their first action
Mm-hmm.
in this game?
Yeah. Well, DeAndre Douglas has had our best camp at wideout. And I thought he did some nice things. He's been sick all week. He missed 2 practices this week, so I'm not sure if he was able to put his best foot forward just because he wasn't able to prepare like everybody else. But I think he's going to be a guy that can make plays for us. Emmanuel Thompson was solid. Probably only practiced 8 to 10 times, coming off an injury. But he's a tough guy. That's the thing I'll tell you about him is that guy's tough. It was good that Darius Wesley got in. Ishmael Saleem's will be one of our most improved players offensively. He's shown that going back to the spring. Then Sidney Davis, junior college transfer, just showed up here that we just brought in for August. I thought he did a good job of making some plays too. All right, thank you. Y'all have a good night.